one of the things I read was like, hey, sleep in an upright position. And I was like, I don't know if I can sleep upright or not, but I can. I have these couches that I've never spent more than like a half hour using the recliners that are built into them.
Oh.
So.
When you get colds and stuff, you don't sleep on the recliner?
No. Well, I typically am bulletproof, Kate.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. My mistake.
Well, to help drain or something? Is that what you're saying?
Because you can't breathe when you're laying flat. So
right.
I would sleep in the recliner.
Right. I was reading up on things yesterday, and they're like, you might try seeing if you can sleep like quasi upright to see that might help drain your ears out a little bit. So
did it help with your ears?
Helped a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you got good sleep, so that's a good trade-off, but...
Yeah. Once again, I had a surprisingly good night of sleep like that.
Good.
The only reason these couches have the recliners built in is that my parents bought the couches and they did not like the way that they sat. Like they sat too low or something. And they're like, you want these? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Thanks.
But not really a big recliner.
I didn't think I was
user.
so much of a recliner person until I was pregnant with our first. And I was like, I've got to get a recliner so I could like lean back and like let my body stretch. Mm-hmm. And now that we were trying to figure out which furniture was going to the apartment and which was going into storage. It's like there's just not enough room for the recliner and the couch. So the recliner's in storage, and I miss my recliner. I had a really nice... I have one. I need to keep saying I have one. I just can't sit in it. Because it's a lazy boy, so you can rock and you can kind of recline the back at the same time without having to put your feet out. And I think that's an exclusive lazy boy feature. I miss my recliner.
They've got some kind of patent on there that prevents other people from implementing the same feature. Because
I didn't know it was a lazy boy thing. So when I went to the furniture store, I'm like, this is what I want. And they're like, oh, that's a lazy boy. Only lazy boy does that. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But I miss my recliner. Definitely.
Locked up in storage.
Yep. Because I slept on my neck wrong. And when you said recliner, I'm like, oh man, I'd love to sleep on my recliner right now.
Yeah, it like I said, it was surprisingly a good night of sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making an appointment for the chiropractor this afternoon because this is just not going to work for me.
Because you slept on your neck wrong.
Yeah, I can't look down. And if I turn to the left, I can only turn so far to the left before it's like, nope, girl, you ain't going anywhere. So if I just turn my body at you instead of turning my head, it's totally normal.
Yeah, you're like Batman who couldn't turn his head, right?
Yep.
Just and to turn the whole torso around.
Yep, that's where I'm at right now. I've got some Aleve on board, and I've got an ice pack in the freezer in the break room. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to break that out or not. But it'd be better if I was in a recliner with my ice pack and a glass of wine. That would help too.
Glass of wine, yeah, got to loosen up.
Well, it's a natural muscle relaxant, so it's good.
Natural.
That's what my chiropractor told me. I love it.
Yeah, well, it comes off of a vine at some point, right?
Exactly. It's organic.
Yeah. What about grapes straight off the vine? Probably not so much, right?
Nope. Only if they're fermented, I guess.
Okay. So did you have things in your brain or what?
I have some things in my brain.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about the things in my brain?
Yes, I do.
I don't know. It's kind of dangerous. Do you have things in your brain? I do.
Let's go into Kate's brain.
Oh, it's a dangerous place in there, Matt.
Ooh, it's very spaghetti-like.
But it's fresh spaghetti, not old, cold spaghetti.
Right.
No, I don't know why it's fresh. Anyways, I read an article about support animals. And, there are different types of support animals. And over the years, we've been seeing support pigs, possums, peacocks, and turkeys even. But you will not be able to bring your emotional support pig, possum, peacock, or turkey on a plane anymore.
Oh.
The U.S. Department of Transportation said dogs are the only service animals, at least when it comes to flying. So you can still bring your support animals, but they have to travel in the cargo hold.
Now, if you have a support animal, is that something you've got like a license for, or?
I feel like there's some sort of certification.
Okay.
That
like service animals, typically you see with someone who might have sight issues, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a support animal is something that's supposed to just soothe someone. Is that right?
Well, yes. Like a guide dog would be for someone who has sight issues. But support animals could be like an anxiety. It can be autism. It could be emotional support. But, I mean, what's the difference between someone spending thousands of dollars on this emotional support golden retriever and getting it certified, and then just this other woman saying, I don't want to leave my chihuahua at home, and so they say it's my support animal? I don't know.
Well, a support animal versus a service animal is something that is typically has like a sign on it or something. It's like, hey, don't pet me on a service animal.
Yeah, but I don't think service animals are just for the site anymore. I think it's a blended line, don't you think, between emotional support and like a service animal?
Well, no, I think a service animal is something that's more official, I guess. I don't know. It's still in service, whereas I think of a support animal as something that is lesser so.
I think you're I think we should be...
Wrong is an okay word. You can say that.
Tread lightly.
Yeah.
I think, you just saying I feel better when my dog is with me, it's my emotional support. That's a little bit different from there are actually emotional support, like you said, like service dogs. I don't know, Matt. I think
that's what I was just saying. I'm just saying for the semantics of the law or whatever, I figured everything that was officially sanctioned would be sanctioned as a service animal because it's still providing a service.
Right.
I guess I'm just not familiar enough with this. All right.
Me too. I know. That's where I'm like, I don't want somebody who's not blind and has a service animal to be like, nuh-uh, mine's just as important.
So basically, you're only allowed to bring a dog on your plane, and it's got to be a officially licensed.
It must
service
be sanctioned. So your pig, possum, peacock, and turkey can make the flight with you, but just in the cargo hold. So, Matt, you can't bring your support pig in first class with you.
Damn.
Doggone it.
I was trying to think of something clever to say there, but I had nothing.
Damn worked. The drawn out silence was great.
Okay, well, that's what I'm good at.
There you go.
You ever encounter one of these on a plane, Kate? Have you ever seen someone else's?
I think years ago, I saw someone who had like a lap dog, but the carrier they had, it said support animal on it. So it was kind of like, I don't know if years ago I was just like, really? Come on. And now I'm thinking, okay, I see the value in them. So maybe it was real. But then you also hear people like, it's my support peacock. Like, really? I don't know.
You hear people, you read an article that surfaces its way to the top of the internet because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. How does one even say, you know what? I'm going to try a peacock for emotional support. Or are they always around peacocks and they go, I get emotional support from these peacocks. It's official. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I would think someone's emotional support peacock would cause me some kind of emotional anxiety.
Right? If you were on a plane sitting next to a peacock, you're like, is this sucker going to peck my eyes out? What's happening here?
That's exactly my worry. It's going to claw or peck my eyes out. I don't want that to happen.
Take my peanuts. This is ridiculous.
Hey, those are mine. I didn't get that many.
She got 2 packs of peanuts.
Do peanuts really happen on the plane very much anymore? I feel like it's been replaced by like pretzels.
Mostly. I know a couple of years ago when we were going to Ireland, I had to have my youngest. We have a peanut allergy in our family, on my husband's side of the family. So they didn't want our girls to have peanuts until they're such and such an age. Well, we were going on this long flight and I didn't want to be in this long flight and have a peanut outbreak. So we got tested and turns out She was not allergic to peanuts, but they had peanuts on the flight. So, I mean, that was 5 years ago, but I think you're right. Probably more pretzels than anything.
Yeah, who knows? It may be totally different when the after times arrive.
When the after times arrive, yeah.
Yeah, just hope that we forgot that those used to be a thing. What do you mean snacks on a plane? You're crazy.
Take your shot of hand sanitizer. Thank you. Down the hatch.
I want these mother effing snacks on this mother effing plane. Okay.
Oh.
I thought maybe there was something there, but no.
Oh.
Like snakes on a plane, snacks on a plane?
Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Come up with your own joke. I give up.
I just thought that maybe you were really insistent about your snacks on the plane.
No. I think it's kind of ridiculous, actually. Like, many flights are like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really need a snack? Okay.
I know. And I would say the last 10 times I've traveled, I've had children with me. Don't worry, I'm bringing my own snacks. I've got a whole purse just for snacks.
And on top of that, if you're on a flight that's long enough that you get a meal, it's like, I don't want that either.
Right.
Away from me.
I will say, we did have a longer flight with a meal, and it was not horrible.
Well, there's a ringing endorsement.
I mean, yeah. Everybody makes the joke about airline food, blah, 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 but it wasn't. I got most of it down, but I was really hungry.
Most of it. I just picture you choke, I just choking it down.
I don't want your Salisbury steak anymore. Yeah, no.
Salisbury steak. Kidding. Good choice.
It wasn't. I think it was a lasagna.
Huh.
It wasn't bad.
Air lasagna. Okay.
Yeah. It was warm. I was hungry. It worked.
Looking forward to getting on a plane again someday, Kate?
I don't know. I say yes because I want to travel. I say no.
It might mean you're going to a tropical location.
Right. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that. But I don't think in the next 6 months I'll be getting on an airplane.
That's a fair restriction to place on oneself. Although, as the vaccine rolls out, maybe there's some in-between times where airfare is ridiculously cheap.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I know lots of people who have been taking advantage of the cheap airfare right now, though.
Oh,
and they've been traveling quite a bit, and kids were on remote learning, so why not travel? And they did.
Any impressive locations?
Yes, very impressive locations. London and Greece and Italy, I think. And I think they did London more than once.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just live vicariously through Facebook going, oh, it's gorgeous. Beautiful family.
Living vicariously as opposed to FOMO. That's a much better disposition.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. FOMO.
FOMO.
No more FOMO when you just live vicariously.
My cousin Momo, her daughter's nickname is Wilmo, and we say that she has FOMO for Momo. My cousin Maureen has a little girl named Wilhelmina. So Maureen is Momo, and Wilhelmina is Wilmo. Uh-huh. And she's very much a mama's girl. So if Maureen walks out of the room, we're like, oh, FOMO for Momo.
From Wilmo.
From Wilmo. Wilmo has FOMO for Momo.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're totally missing one of the opportunities there.
Sorry.
Wilmo.
And she's Wilmo because her name's Wilhelmina Monroe. So it's
Wilhelmina
Wilmo.
Monroe.
Yeah.
Fun name.
I know. She is such a little sugar, too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
She is
such a little...
She is such a little sugar. She is a sugar.
Sugar.
That's one of my go-tos, though, when I'm trying not to cuss. And so you are right.
Oh, sugar.
Oh, sugar.
When are you trying to not cuss, by the way, outside of being on the radio? Around
people that I don't know very well that might judge me.
People that might judge you. Okay.
I had a doctor's appointment earlier this week, and I didn't know the nurse, but we had this really good vibe going. I really liked her, and I thought, I don't know if we're that close enough in the last 2-minute visit that we've been having, if I can cuss. So I dropped some Shazams and, funky.
You should have cursed.
I should have, because I think that she would have appreciated it, but it was still the getting to know you process, new doctor, new nurse. I don't want to be like, man, Good luck with that one. She cusses a lot. Tip of the iceberg for Crazy Town. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I try not to cuss. When I don't know if I'm going to get judged or not. I do like to cuss.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
I am very good at it.
And we haven't yet released like explicit podcasts, you know.
No.
Our podcasts are mostly radio friendly.
I might get a letter from HR, so let's not.
If you start cursing on some podcasts?
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, HR, what they got to do with it?
I mean, you're a representative of this company. No? Okay.
There's all kinds of weird cursing that happens in the hallways of this place.
I got to tell you about cursing in the hallways.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So we were interviewing candidates for a job at the radio station. And I knew that there was an interview. They were in the conference room. The door was shut, but we all know that walls are not always as thick as we like them to be. And I said another word for poop in the hallway. I said sugar. You know what I'm saying? And
no, Kate, I have no clue.
I know, right? I'm laying it down. And one of, I guess he's one of my superiors, but at the same time, one of my colleagues, I should say, came flying down the hallway, pulled me aside, kind of, sort of, not really pulled me aside because I know that everybody in the conference room heard. He was like, we have an interview in that room and you're being really unprofessional and you're cussing. And what do you think that candidate is going to say if they want to work here? But we've got people with really foul language. Now, here's the point where I'm like, kind of, is this really happening? Am I really getting reprimanded right now? Aren't we all adults? No, apparently not. And I pointed out that the candidate in the conference room was wearing a shirt that said, I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look at it 2 nights ago at the bar. I think he can handle
at the bar
the SH word in the hallway of a prospective employer. And then the colleague was just, well, I mean.
So the applicant was wearing this shirt?
He was not wearing the shirt at the interview, but the interviewee was wearing the shirt 2 nights before the interview.
Oh, how did you become aware of that?
Because I was at the same place he was at, and I saw him in said shirt.
It's a small town?
Yeah. Yeah.
So everyone's aware of everyone? And
no, it was just, it was just Saturday night at the bar, and he ran the karaoke at the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A quasi-local celebrity. Karaoke person in a small town, yeah.
Guess what? He got the job. And it was just so funny to see my colleague's face, though. Well, I'm like, yeah, I knew who was in the room. I didn't think that. It's fine. I'm a terribly unprofessional.
Well, even if you didn't, people got to know what kind of culture they're coming into. Yeah, right. I'm like, oh, okay. I will take this kind of salary in exchange for being able to loudly curse all over the place.
Exactly.
You know,
I would.
And we don't really have we have visitors into this building from time to time. I should say there's not loud cursing that happens, and it's not prolific, but people in radio, turns out, curse. So.
Oh, yeah. People curse, Matt. Humans curse.
But we're radio. We're not human here.
We're not human here? Okay.
We're the strange species of radio people who most people never hear curse.
That's true. You can't hear us curse.
Thanks, FCC. You know.
Boring.
Well, and we also do want people to be able to listen in the car with the kids and stuff. So, yeah, we don't want to be profane or talk about anything, well, too intense, but, you know.
Yeah, don't bring up Oprah.
Oh, God.
Too far?
Yeah. No, just the right amount of distance, I think.
Okay. Anything happen with that?
No, I never heard about it again.
Okay.
No. And I'm fairly certain it was your fault.
I went back and listened to it. It was not my fault.
I never said Oprah pooping. I never said that once. I said Oprah on the can. And then you're the one who was talking about Oprah pooping. Is the way that you brought it up. So I never said anything about Oprah pooping. She may have, just been peeing or just using it as a conveniently located chair. You said pooping. I said Oprah on the can. Oh, you think Oprah reads those books when she's taking a dump? No, I said Oprah on the can.
No, I was thinking about the first one where you were talking about Oprah in the bathroom in the squatty potty, and I didn't get into it. And you're like, you're just going to let it go? I'm talking about Oprah. All right. Well, I'm glad we haven't heard anything more about that.
Oh, there you go. Hey, podcast exclusive.
Oh, I was hoping you'd chip.
We got a complaint about us insinuating that it's one thing if you say everybody poops, but once you mention Oprah, watch out.
Oh, man. Good old Oprah.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, man.
That's so stupid.
The best cities for singles. And there's no mention of Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Oh.
I know. What I think is funny, the best cities for singles. Some of them are kind of remote, like Fargo, North Dakota, Missoula, Montana.
Oh. Okay.
Boise, Idaho. What makes these hopping for singles? But I'm trying to see where it was. Wallet Hub. That's who did the report. And they compared more than 180 U.S. cities using a number of indicators for dating friendliness, including percentage of population that is single. So that maybe makes sense why these remote locations, they're nice people.
Well, dating friendliness, could it be like, hey, look, you can explore nature or something?
Right. It also includes the average price of a two-person meal, the average price of beer and wine, the number of parks, gyms, coffee shops, bars, restaurants per capita, and the cost to rent a one-bedroom apartment. But, I mean,
okay,
best cities for singles. So,
yeah, drinks for cheap, and you're also not hitting your wallet with too costly of a living apartment situation or whatever.
Right.
So you can bang for your buck for your alcohol. Really goes far. Okay,
now I'm going to give you the multiple choice. Which do you think is the number one best city to be single? Okay. Is it Portland, Maine, Denver, Colorado, Salt Lake City, or Madison, Wisconsin?
I will try Madison, Wisconsin.
Did you read over my shoulder?
No.
Madison, Wisconsin is the best.
The way that we're positioned, that is impossible.
City. Well, if you walked by earlier, if you saw it on my screen, that's where I was kind of not like right now. Can your eyes come around my shoulder?
Okay.
Yeah. Madison, Wisconsin. 10.
Turns out I've got cartoon character eyes that can go boom.
That's exactly what I thought
down the hallway and
like yes. Whoop. That's exactly. I thought of cartoon eyeballs when I said that. The worst cities to be single in. We've got Brownsville, Texas, Pembroke Pines, Florida, and Glendale, California.
Okay. So, I've heard of Glendale, but I don't think I've heard of those other cities.
I don't think anybody goes, I'm so excited to move to Brownsville, Texas. Doesn't that just sound like a dump? Just kidding. Wah, wah. Brownsville, Texas, Pembroke Pines. I think Pembroke Pines sounds like a senior living in Florida. Pembroke Pines.
That could be senior living anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe their headquarters in Florida would make sense. Yeah.
Right. Matt, have you heard about Lady Gaga and her deal with Oreo?
No, I haven't. I'm surprised I haven't. What's going on with Gaga and Oreo?
I mean, how do you not know? She's introducing her own Oreo cookie.
Wow.
That was my Oprah impression.
Yeah, that was a good Oprah.
Thank you. It's inspired by the Mother Monster's Chromatica. It's made with pink-hued golden Oreos with green-colored cream and 3 Gaga-inspired cookie designs on the outside, including a beautiful heart embossment. So you've got pink Oreos with green cream, but it's the golden flavor, so it's not a chocolate Oreo.
Okay. It's like is that vanilla-ish then or something?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's tasty, but they're going to be available nationwide in January.
Do you accept substitutes for your Oreos?
What do you mean?
Like Hydrox or Numinos is one I've heard of recently.
I've never heard of that one, but I grew up with Hydrox because my granny didn't like Oreos. She liked Hydrox better. And when we got to have Oreos, we're like, these are so much better than Hydrox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I was always pretty disappointed when Hydrox were around.
But she was old. She had weird tastes. Yeah.
She was old. She had no taste.
She was old.
Well, did she ever
I said she had weird taste. She had weird taste, not no taste.
Oh, okay.
But they grew up in a generation where people were poor and they made the most out of meals. And my mom starts talking about things that her mom grew up with. I'm like, that sounds like I'd rather eat cardboard. Like,
Yeah.
They also had 11 kids.
Oreo was introduced in 1912.
Oreo's 1912. I didn't know they'd been around that long.
And I'm looking up Hydrox. So 1912 for Oreo. Hydrox, 1908. The similar Oreo cookie introduced in 1912 was ultimately inspired by the Hydrox. I guess I'm not surprised.
Oreo's the knockoff.
Yeah. So I was going to say, well, maybe Granny was first introduced to Hydrox because maybe Hydrox was popular before it. Maybe. Granny.
That's what we called her, my granny.
I know. I love it. It's fantastic. I'll always be hung up on it.
Definitely a granny.
I don't think I'll ever not be totally derailed if I hear you refer to your granny. Like, wait,
Sorry.
Okay, yes. No, please don't apologize.
Sorry.
It's a delightful thing to me.
She was a delightful lady. I mean, I couldn't try to call her Nana. It would never work. She was definitely
she had old person taste buds, but other than that.
Old person taste buds. She had her glasses on her little pretty chain. She sat in the corner of the couch, had a nice scarf around her and a blanket on her lap. Yeah, like granny stereotype right there.
Do your taste buds change, much like eyesight? Do your taste buds get worse with age?
I don't know if they get worse. I know they change. And I learned last year that they change every 7 years, according to my child who learned it in school. So it must be true.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they teach the kids.
I mean, I didn't know there was a time on it, but they do change. I did not grow up liking spicy. Even in my 20s, I wasn't a big spicy fan. Now I'm love spicy.
Yeah, I thought of a lot of it was just exposure to something that you were previously just kind of I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just a lack of adventure or something that inspired kids to eat or not to eat something.
Oh, I'm still very boring, Matt, but I do like some spicy things. But at restaurants, I'm also kind of like you said, it's exposure. If I really want to try, I've had it before, but I really want to eat again Indian food. But I want to go with someone who has been exposed several times and can just be like, yeah, you got to get this, this, and this. And I want to try a lot of things. And I'm just not brave enough to go by myself to say, hey, I want to try stuff. Help me out. So
I think you mean Native American food, Kate.
I do not mean Native American food. Let me just clear that up. I mean from the country of India. I know, but anybody who's just tuning in, I
couldn't stop.
I'm not talking about a cornucopia. I'm talking about Indian food. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go with someone who's got a well-developed Indian food palate because why? Because they're going to peer pressure you into being more adventurous or what?
No, not someone who's got a more mature Indian palate, but someone who's eaten at an Indian restaurant and can guide me. These are some of the things that I think you'll like because this kind of you know what I mean? If you've never
like
had
spaghetti, you'll like this.
Well, no, not spaghetti, Matt. If you like peanut butter and jelly, you should try this. No, I mean just some things like this is to describe it more, to say, yes, this is what I want, as opposed to just covering my eyes and pointing to something on the menu going, maybe I'll like it. I'd like to go with someone who's a little bit more cultured, maybe in Indian food, who can help guide me and also let me eat off their plate too. So I can taste other things.
Oh, I was going to say, can't the server guide you? But I don't think the server's going to share their employee meal with you.
Probably not.
But yeah, couldn't the server guide you? Or is it's a matter of you want this person to kind of know what your general tastes are?
Yeah, kind of someone that I trust instead of a stranger.
Okay. Yeah, well, I also have this weird social thing where I'm like, I don't want to spend too much of the server's time.
Exactly. I'm with you. Even though having been a server, that never would have bothered me. I'd have been like, this is really good. This is really good. This is really popular. Oh, you don't like spicy? Definitely don't do this part of the menu. Yeah. That never would have bothered me. But me being in the like consumer, like, really awkward. It's ridiculous.
I think a good way maybe to sample a new sort of cuisine would be to start kind of expensive with it. You know what I mean? Go to a restaurant that's less likely to mess something up.
Yeah.
And then you can set your expectations for other places, cheaper places accordingly after that. Does that sound like a good plan?
I think that's a good idea. But then I also, there's the cheapskate in me that's like, ooh, I'm going to a fancy place where I don't know anything about it. And I'm going to spend how much for food I don't know if I'll like. I don't know. I get you.
I don't know if there's too many Indian buffets out there.
I don't see Indian restaurants having like a sampler platter, you know, like at, I don't know, like bar and grills where you can get like the onion rings, the chicken wings, and the chicken tenders or something, you know, where they've got the all fried sampler platter.